And we're here at O'Gorman High School learning more about the Festival of Bands coming up on Saturday.
All right, the 36th Annual Festival of Bands is back.
It takes place on Saturday, and it's going to be Bandemonium. Mandy Gertis takes us to learn more. Good morning, Mandy.
Good morning, Ellen Thor. Yes, it is going to be Bandemonium on Saturday. And we are at O'Gorman High School. They are one of the hosts of the Festival of Bands. And this morning I am joined by Allie Dunbar. She is the Festival of Bands manager. Good morning, Allie. Thanks for joining me. Can you tell me a little bit, what's all happening on Saturday with the Festival of Bands?
We are going to have 47 bands here participating in our event. There's a parade on Saturday morning at 8:30 in the Colville Lake Terrace Park area. And then at about 10:15, our first band steps off in the field competition at Howard Wood Field. Throughout the day, you're going to see 47 bands competing, and our 5 host schools will be sponsoring or hosting that event for us. So Sioux Falls, Lincoln, O'Gorman, Washington, Jefferson, and Roosevelt are going to help us out through the day, and the kids are excited to perform for everyone. Lots of things to see throughout the day, so hopefully we have lots of spectators able to stop by.
And in previous years, how many spectators have you seen in previous years?
Oh, it depends on the year and the weather, but we have seen up to 8,000 spectators throughout the day there, because you're welcome to come and go as you please. The parade is a free event that you can see that morning till about 10:30, and then, like I said, that field event starts at 10:15 and goes until 10:30 at night. So we see up to 8,000 spectators some years throughout that day.
It's definitely a ton of people. And as far as the bands go, is there anything specific that you can kind of share details of what to look forward to?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the really fun highlights is just the variety of bands and the styles of music they play. So I think you're sure to see a lot of different styles and things that appeal to different audiences. And it's always fun to see the different themes and things that parent or directors and students come up with when they create those shows. So I think you're sure in for a treat seeing lots of different ideas.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me here this morning. And we will be back later on learning more about kind of what it takes to get ready for the Festival of Bands. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you, Ellen Thor.
All right, thanks, Mandy. Those kids in band put in a lot of work.
They do. It's a lot of, it's the same as the athletes putting in a lot of hours practicing.
They're early in the mornings. They'll be showcasing a lot of the high school bands here in the region coming up, as the Festival of Bands is on Saturday, and we'll check back in with Mandy in a little bit. All right, the first Festival of Bands happened back in 1988 with only 13 parade bands and 8 bands actually in the field of competition here in Sioux Falls.
This year, it is the 36th Annual Festival of Bands with many more bands than that, and it's all taking place on Saturday. Mandy Gertis takes us to learn more. Good morning, Mandy.
Good morning, Ellen Thor. Yes, there are a ton of bands participating in the Festival of Bands this year, and we are at one of the host schools at O'Gorman High School. And this morning I am joined again by Allie Dunbar. She's the Festival of Bands manager. Thanks for joining me again, Allie. And can you tell me what goes into getting ready for such a big event like this?
Yes. We meet year-round, at least once a month, and starting in January, we really ramp up our meetings to begin collecting sponsorships to make this possible, begin recruiting volunteers from those 5 area host schools, and then we collect over 100 volunteers throughout the day to support us at the parade and help all of the bands prepare and get up to the parade route, and even after each event ends, we've got volunteers there to help those bands get back to their buses. And then throughout the field events, we really rely on our parent volunteers and even student volunteers to again help those bands get prepared for their performance and make everyone feel like they know exactly where to be and what is going on. And it's really because of all of our families and parents and students that we can make this a huge event such a huge success for everyone.
And how many volunteers usually does it take to put on this event?
Yes. So our core committee is about 40 parent volunteers and directors and some staff members within our schools. And then throughout the day, this Saturday, you'll see over 100 families and parents and students and even some teachers helping out that day to make it successful.
That sounds like it's going to be Bandemonium like we were talking earlier. Yes. I'm so excited for it. Well, we will be learning a little bit more later on in the 6 o'clock hour, and we'll hear from some drum majors, kind of learning more what the students' side of it is, and we'll hear from a band director coming up. But I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks, Mandy.
Thanks, Mandy. It'll take place Saturday at Howard Wood Field. That's where the actual competition is. There are a lot of high school, middle school bands. And
You said Alcester Hudson. will
Elsie,
be
yeah,
there?
your alma mater's in it as well. Were you in band?
For a
Marching
while,
band?
not very long.
Okay. All right. Well, they're going to be competing in it as well, and that's coming up Saturday. Been going on for a lot of years, and we'll check back in with Mandy here in a little bit.
Awesome.
I know Aaron Downham. You were in marching band, weren't you?
I was. Every single year down there in southern Kansas, we would go to the Arkalala Marching Festival.
What did you play?
Saxophone.
Oh, I also played saxophone for the short time I played.
Pull those out some more.
Yeah,
There you go.
that would be good.
And we're at O'Gorman High School learning more about the Festival of Bands that's coming up on Saturday.
All right, all this morning we've been talking about the 36th Annual Festival of Bands. Takes place in Sioux Falls this coming Saturday.
Mandy Gertis is out at O'Gorman and is going to tell us a little bit more. Good morning, Mandy.
Good morning, Ellen Thor. Yes, we are at O'Gorman. They are one of the host schools of the Festival of Bands. And this morning, I'm now joined by a couple of the band members, Sydney and Christopher Vandenhemmel. You guys tell me a little bit about what you're excited for with the Festival of Bands happening.
Well, I'm really excited for the parade. It's my first year as a drum major, so I can't wait to just be with the band and not just kind of in the back like normal. And I'm really excited to perform really late at night because we are the final performer. And so we have every single band audience member in there, so it's going to be a big, packed house.
And with the Festival of Bands coming up, Christopher, tell me what you're excited for with, I know you said you were a Barry saxophone.
I'm excited to really just hang out with all the rest of the saxophones and just to hang out with all the other band kids because we're really a community and we stick together pretty well.
And with it kind of being a community thing, how does that make you feel to be able to perform for the community?
It's a really big deal to us. We take great pride in what we do and we love sharing it with everybody. So we're all so excited and we just can't wait.
And Sydney, you said you're a senior this year. How does it feel with this being your last Festival of Bands?
I'm kind of sad. I love Festival of Bands. It's probably one of my favorite places to perform. But I'm really happy we're going out with a really amazing show with a really great team. And again, a packed house, so I'm really excited.
Wonderful. Well, we will be learning a little bit more later on in the 6 o'clock hour, and we'll hear from the band director. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you guys.
Awesome. Thanks, Mandy.
Yeah. Well, she said it takes place Saturday at Howard Wood Field. They have a parade kind of by the Cova Lake area right near Howard Wood Field. And a lot of high school bands. You'll hear music all day throughout the day coming up on Saturday out there.
This Festival of Bands happened in 1988 with only 13 parade bands and 8 bands in the field of competition.
Of course, it's the 36th year for the festival, and there are many high school and some middle school bands as well. It's at Howard Wood Field Saturday, but Mandy Gertis is at O'Gorman this morning, where she's been talking about. Of course, O'Gorman's one of the host schools. Good morning, Mandy.
Good morning, Ellen Thor. Yes, we are at O'Gorman. They are a host school of the Festival of Bands. And this morning, I am joined now by the band director here, Ben Koch. Thanks so much for joining me here this morning. Tell me a little bit about kind of what goes into getting your students and getting the band all ready for the festival.
Yeah, thanks for being out here with us this morning. These guys have been rehearsing, some of them since June, really, to prepare for the season. So there's a lot of time spent out here in all kinds of different weather. As you can tell this morning, it's a little cooler. We get the hot, we get the cold, we get everything, but these guys work really hard, and we're just excited to be in the competitive season and the performance season and excited for the festival Saturday.
And on Saturday, is there anything that spectators should be really looking forward to from the O'Gorman Band?
Oh, absolutely. You'll see us in the parade. Our parade steps off at 8:30, and we're at the end of the parade with Lincoln High School, another host school. Field competition steps off at 10:15. We have prelims all day at Howard Wood. Some really excellent bands going to be here from all over 4 different states this year coming in. Our finals competition, which is our top 10 bands, will start at 7 o'clock, and we'll actually have a lot of the host schools performing there. And our band, O'Gorman, is on the very last, 10:15 p.m. It's going to be a great opportunity to play for a really excited crowd about marching bands. So hope a lot of people can come out and join us.
And tell me, what's your level of excitement going into this festival?
Very high. I really enjoyed it. I've been able to be chair of the Festival of Bands Committee now for a few years. I was a student here at O'Gorman and marched in the in the event as a student. It's just a premier event for a lot of bands in the region, and it's great to see so many young people working hard and performing and coming out to the field and the parade to entertain our crowds.
Wonderful. Well, it sounds like it is going to be an absolute blast. And what we will do right now is I'm going to tell you, we're going to have a look at the forecast coming up. But for now, here is the O'Gorman High School drum line.